Yo, yo, yo! It's the World of Warcraft growth hormone stream. What's going on, you guys? Thanks for joining me on this beautiful Friday night here from sunny Los Angeles. I am Adam with Anabolic Climbing, and we're going to do a lot tonight. We're going to have some quick check-ins. We're going to do a whole bunch of research on growth hormone and BPC 157. Maybe TB500 if I am awake enough for it. I have been super tired from the GH. But yeah, if you're new, welcome. Do not forget to like and subscribe to the stream. And let's hop into it. So alright, let's do a quick check-in for the week. I'm going to make a full-blown video on this, but just in case, I figured we'd hang out and talk for a bit before I hop into all of the reading and all of that good stuff. I upped my GH intake from 3 IUs up to 3.3. There's 10 IUs in a vial, and yeah, for whatever reason, that little bit extra sort of put me into the edema range, so I've been a little bit waterlogged. I'm gonna have to cut down my salt consumption a little bit, but it'd be like that. I'm not too mad. Other than that, though, fingers feel really good on block pulls. They just don't feel great on jugs, which is super annoying. Other than that, lifts are really good. Climbing is kind of meh. GH might honestly be the goated off-season climbing compound. From all the research I've had, I think that that's probably going to be what it's going to be. So it might be better than Anavar. It's definitely better than Nandrolone. It's probably better than BPC. It's probably better than GHKCU, which I've also been trying. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, let's... Is there anything else? No, I think we should honestly just hop into the research. I'll start making notes. The short answer is, guys, I've got an interview that I'm doing on peptides next week, which I am over the moon about. Not going to mention with who, but you guys will definitely know when it comes out. And yeah, without any further ado, let's hop into it. Let's go over what's happening on the growth hormone side. Alright, growth hormone stimulates collagen synthesis in human tendon and skeletal muscle without affecting myofibril protein synthesis. In the skeletal muscle tendon, the extracellular matrix confers the important tensile properties and is crucially important for tissue regeneration after injury. Musculoskeletal tendon adaptation is influenced with biomechanical loading, i.e. training stuff, which modulates the ability of growth factors, including growth hormone and IGF-1. IGF-1 is going to be important. We're going to talk about that later, which may be of key importance. To test this hypothesis that GH promotes matrix collagen synthesis in Jesus Christ, these words are crazy. Tissue. We investigate the effects of 14-day administration on 33 to 50 micrograms per kilogram per day of recombinant HGH in young, healthy individuals. So, in most of this, people are going to end up using between 3 to 6 IUs of GH a day. And in this case, they're using it for 2 weeks, which is cool. Tendon collagen and mRNA expression and tendon collagen protein synthesis is measured by such and such a fold. So guys, just spoiler alert, you are going to see whenever collagen has an impact, I believe it increases tendon production after injuries about 3 times higher, if not more, which is bananas, thus increasing the growth hormone's ability to stimulate matrix collagen synthesis in skeletal muscle and tendon, but without the effect upon myofibrillar protein synthesis. This suggests that growth hormone is more important in strengthening the matrix tissue than for muscle cell hypertrophy in adult healthy Mucosotendinal cells. Jesus Christ. Can we get the full text link to that? Because that would be sick. Based. Annoying. Oh shit, let's go. Also, we should probably throw up some ChatGPT stuff in here too. Hey, welcome to whoever's watching. Great to have you here, man. We're researching GH all night and figuring out its impact on tendons, so that's cool. Locomotive and supportive functions are dependent upon the transition or transmission of muscle and skeletal force via the intramuscular connective tissue and tendon. Collagen is the most important protein in transferring or in conferring the required mechanical properties. Blah, 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 blah. Although it has been shown that recombinant HGH administration has no effect on muscle size and muscle protein synthesis, it is nonetheless commonly assumed by coaches and athletes that this is not true. The perception is increased performance of explosiveness in events is almost certainly mistaken. However, these may be subjective changes in perception from the edema and possibly increased muscle stiffness due to the collagen synthesis tissue. So that's actually not what bodybuilders tend to think. Most bodybuilders are of the impression that growth hormone will actually increase the number of muscle cells and tendon cells. And then you can ultimately, so you'll basically have more tendon cells, more muscle cells, and then you can leverage the anabolics to really drive more growth from them. So let's say, I'm just making up numbers here, but you have 1 million muscle cells in your bicep. You might be able to get that up to like 1.2 to 1.3 and then make all of them bigger with testosterone. So you kind of have like a 1 + 1 = 3. So you will gain fat-free mass on growth hormone, but it might not correlate to being more explosive. But for our purposes, if you can build thicker tendons and then drive the force production with another anabolic, the theory is you will get stronger fingers. Okay, so we got 10 healthy sedentary men that were roughly in their 30s. All of them were pretty healthy, non-smokers. That's cool stuff. They all did, okay, so this is where they were doing the quadriceps exercise that I reviewed earlier. Then they cut out the tendon. Jesus Christ, it's so brutal. And, okay. Honestly, I think you guys would be happier if I just asked ChatGPT to summarize this. Like in general, I like to have ChatGPT summarize things, and then I check back in to make sure that I'm reading it correctly. Sometimes we have issues interpreting stuff. But yeah, obviously the serum growth hormone is going to be higher if you're injecting it exogenously. Same with the IGF-1. One of the reasons you have to worry about your A1C when you are taking human growth hormone is it raises IGF-1, which affects your glucose levels. Yep, more human skeletal muscle and tendon than placebo. Obviously, exercise is going to drive more expression. 3x better than placebo. Threefold, like I said. Prior exercise did not affect collagen. Oh wow, crazy. All right, let's take a look. So yep, the hormone response, HGH increased serum IGF-1 because the two sort of go hand in hand. Both tendon and muscle showed signs of increase from the mRNA expression. Collagen synthesis boost, what we all care about here. Collagen type 1 increased 3.9-fold. Holy smokes. Collagen protein synthesis increased 1.3-fold, statistically significant. Muscle collagen protein 2.3x. Collagen protein synthesis 5.8. Strong tend towards significance. No impact on myofibrillar protein synthesis. You might want to do a double check on what that means. Exercise does not enhance the growth hormone effect. Okay, so they just needed more volume. That's fine. They were just doing 1 rep maxes. That's cool. Main takeaway is that HGH significantly stimulates collagen production in the connective tissue matrix and does not promote myofibrillar growth. That's fine. We have other drugs that can do that. The effects, cool. Nope. Thanks, ChatGPT. That's great. We are going to save the study here. And let's make some takeaways. Welcome. Thanks for showing up, man. So this is all the stuff that we're really interested in. Huge collagen boosts from the GH. So yeah, honestly, the most interesting part about this is it's not jacking up the it's not jacking up the collagen matrix from the increased collagen synthesis, which is what you were seeing in the nandrolone study. So sick. We love that. Do I have the interpretation? No. So the marked increased collagen synthesis that may have applications in the aiding or repairing of recovery where connective tissue is damaged. We sort of know the GH does this. And its impact on IGF-1 is kind of interesting, but I don't think we'd want to leverage IGF-1 and GH for growth hormone signaling. That would be crazy. I think all of this is probably the most important that's going to be done in the GH video. Like, increases in collagen protein synthesis is huge. I'm less interested in the muscle collagen protein synthesis. I really need to figure this out. I'm going to reach out to either a doctor or someone, because it's kind of like this, right? Tendons are connective tissue both between the bone and the muscle. And I wonder if the muscle collagen protein synthesis is the tendon getting connected to the muscle, and the tendon collagen might be to the bone. So that's probably a thing worth figuring out. But cool. We love that. Let's go into the next study. Gene expression in rehab in young males. Let's go. Can we get a full study? Dude, shout out to PubMed. Like, if you guys are sleeping on PubMed, I don't know what you're doing. Okay. Another full article. Let's get into it. Tendon and skeletal muscle matrix gene expression and the function and response to the immobilization and rehabs of young males and the effects of growth hormone administration. Fun times. We're going to go through this. It's a long boy. Let's see what ChatGPT has. Actually, can I stop this? Is this the same one? No, this has more people. That's cool. Alright, so the first time we only had 10 guys that were immobilized and we were testing the leg. Now I got 20. Again, we're getting threefold. Okay. Oh, wow. So basically, by taking, I want to say this was also 3 to 10 or 3 to 6 IUs. Serum growth hormone levels increased threefold and soared to tenfold during the rehabilitation. Serum IGF-1 increased 3x. We know that. That's not really a surprise. Both GH and placebo groups showed similar outcomes. Really? That's crazy. Even after 2 weeks? That's different than the last one. Okay. Okay, so it was immobilized. Surprise, surprise, growth hormone and the tendon structure improved 17% versus placebo. That's pretty obvious. I don't think that's really a surprise. Tendon stiffness decreased in the placebo during the immobilization and maintained in the growth hormone group. So stiffness is really just a proxy for the most part for collagen synthesis. So that is cool. Gene expression and muscle and tendon. Okay, so significantly increase the mRNA for IGF-1 and type 1 collagen and type 1 and 3 or and type 3 collagen. That makes a ton of sense. This is like the major thing that I don't think people understand. The fact that there are no significant changes in the tendon fibril is kind of awesome. And what I mean by that is it's not warping it. Usually when you're taking anabolics, you're going to see the tendon integrity either stiffens or get worse. Whereas here, the morphology stays the same. So you're actually getting a better quality and larger tendon without making it more brittle, which is insane. GH exerts the maximum stabilizing effect. It preserves the tendon stiffness and locks expression during... Holy crap, this is what we want to see. This is amazing. So collagen and IGF-1, so that's the thing that we need. So collagen and IGF-1 responses. The growth hormone upregulates the collagen expression and local IGF-1 both in the muscle and in the tendons, suggesting a strong tissue level response in the support of the structural integrity. So GH makes stronger tendons. That doesn't change the quality. Let's go! We cracked the code, boys. Amazing. Okay. Oh, wait. Oops. This is what we want. My bad. Ooh, free PDF. We love these. Let's throw on some more pixel parrots. Yo, welcome. Good to have you, man. All right. Yes, close all tabs. Yo, welcome. Thanks for coming to hang out and learning about growth hormone. Ooh, rats. That's fine though. Systemic anabolic effect. Hooray! No benefit for tendon healing. Really? And unloaded tendons. Okay. Oh, interesting. So it doesn't improve early tendon healing. Super interesting. So, if you're wondering what that is, so you kind of have 3 different phases of tendon healing. You really have like the 1 through 5 day, then the 5 day through 12 weeks, and then you have the up to 90 days. And what you're having in the first 3 to 5 days is like your inflammation markers. So that's when it could be an injury, it could just be stress from climbing. Whereas then you start having like the basic remodeling over the next couple weeks, and then you have the long-term remodeling. And apparently for the first couple days, it doesn't seem to have an impact on tendon growth, which is cool. That is good to know. But it does stimulate bone growth. Cool. Good to know. So that's for the first 10 days. Very cool. All right, on to the next one. Yeah, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. So first 10 days of an injury, growth hormone does not help. Yeah, 7 days. So we don't really need to repeat this. The short answer is GH for 7 days doesn't seem to help. So if you happen to be wondering about this, if you ever do find yourself injured, and I've seen this anecdotally too from Vigorous Steve and a few other folks, you don't actually use BPC, or you don't actually use growth hormone for like the first 7 days. Afterwards it'll help. But for the first couple days, you want the inflammation to sort of subside. And then you could bring in your BPC 157, your TB 500, and your GH. And that's when you're going to start seeing some improvements in the overall markers. But it doesn't really help in the beginning. Yeah, we know. It definitely helps with muscle weakness. I can almost guarantee that this is going to be helpful. Okay. Okay, 0.5 milligrams. All right, that's fine. Primary outcome is knee extension strength and biomarkers. Myostatin was measured, volume out. Of course, HGH is tolerable. Of course, it's going to raise IGF-1. No changes in myostatin. Quadricep groups lost similar volume, 20% by 5 weeks, post-op by 27 weeks. Cool. So the short answer is GH helps you maintain more strength versus not taking GH, which isn't really a surprise. So that would actually be really helpful as far as like rehab and whatnot. So in the event that you get wrecked and you need ACL surgery, recovery you'll retain strength, and that's cool. We love that. We love that. That's fine. So yeah, if you get injured and you can get on a decent chunk of HGH, it will improve your recovery time and you will lose less strength. Good to know. All right, on to the next one. No one cares. Interesting. Wow. Okay, so it doesn't seem to help with bones. Good to know. Good to know. All right, good to know. We're almost through the growth hormone stuff, and it's almost time to hop into the BPC 157 stuff. Cool. All right. Yeah, we went through this already. GH with Burns, let's go. By the way, I'm not really surprised some folks aren't sticking around. Like, I don't think most people want to nerd out on their Friday night, and I could kind of respect that. Like, a lot of you streaming my research is to just show you guys that I do it. I think most people at the end of the day want to know, like, should I take this or should I not? And most folks don't care how the sausage gets made. But I feel like if I don't show that I'm reviewing the studies, it kind of puts a lot of my credibility in the question. And I think that's fair. And while, like, anyone could do this, I think most people just don't take the time. They just kind of want to be like, all right, does this work or does this not? Should I do this or should I not? And they don't really want to find out in the science if this makes sense or not. And I totally get that. All right, let's take a look. Time to go into, does GH help heal folks with burns? Probably should, or let's take a guess on this. The answer is it probably should. You have type 1 and type 3 collagen synthesis. It wouldn't be a surprise if it helped after the 7-day period. My guess is probably. 46 kids. God, that sucks. With 40% burns. Jesus Christ. Okay. Injections began within 8 days of post-burn and continued until 95% closure. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so it definitely sped up by like about a day. Nice, a 25% reduction in burn recovery, or in healing times. That's amazing. So yeah. So for anything skin and tendon related, it seems pretty obvious that growth hormone is going to be great for speeding up rate of injury. So potentially pulley injuries, tendon tears either in the bicep or elsewhere, it definitely seems like a thing that GH could help. But for bones and stuff, probably not. So like, okay, we take those. Let's pop that in the Who's-Its. Recover 25% faster from burns. Sick. We are learning, folks. We are learning. Rude. All right, let's see if we got anything here. Amazing. By the way, for everyone that stopped by tonight, I seriously can't thank you enough for keeping me company while I do the research. All right, goal is to determine whether the biomechanical environment of human blood serum immediately after resistance exercise can promote collagen deposition and improve mechanical strength, and engineering ligament models and better resting syrup or serum or individuals for recombinant hormones like GH or IGF-1. Exercise dramatically elevates growth hormone levels, no shit, and pharmacological GH has been shown to enhance collagen synthesis. It's unclear if the natural exercise induced by the biomechanical milieu, including multiple hormones metabolites, elicits effects are stronger. So are we giving people growth hormone, or are we just seeing if this raises it? Of engineered ligaments. Okay, cool. That's good to know. So engineered ligaments were engineered in vitro using, alright, yeah, whatever. ACL tissue. That's fine. Collagen content. So yeah, are they just wondering if exercise increases GH signaling? Yeah, obviously. Alright. Recombinant GH does not replicate the effect. Okay, so despite the GH spike in post-serum, adding recombinant HCH alone had no effect on ligaments, collagen synthesis. Okay, so there's no correlation between growth hormone changes and collagen enhancement either. Okay, cool. So this is actually super useful. Okay, this suggests that exercise naturally generates multifaceted biomechanical environment that supports connective tissue and health and regeneration, something that the hormone dosing can't mimic. Okay, so you can't just take growth hormone and get stronger tendons. That's pretty obvious. Okay, so resting is just worse than baseline. Post-exercise, increasing in collagen content, okay. Wait, are we just trying to figure out if you can just take growth hormone and have it work better than exercising? No. They're trying to... Okay, that's fine. This is fine. This is fine. GH is not a substitute for exercise. Surprise. Okay. Sick. We love that. Alright, so let's kind of summarize here what we've learned so far. GH does increase IGF-1 signaling. GH does increase tendon size, strength, and adaptation. GH will increase healing after a week. GH won't help with bone recovery, but really anything involving type 1 and type 3 collagen synthesis, it's going to help. So that's really cool. So anything involving skin or tendon, really helpful, and it will increase bone mineral density, but it will not be able to help with bone healing. Okay, great. That is helpful. Okay. Negative side effects of GH. Yep. Let's refine this, shall we? Oh. God, that moment where you get a brain blast where you can contextualize how much... Oh, what? Oh, God. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, when you realize what the IUs are versus the milligrams, it all makes sense. So taking 1 milligram versus 1 milligram is 3 IUs. Man, ChatGPT is so helpful for that kind of stuff. Dude, why is this song so fucking dope? I'm gonna save this. Overworld. Alright, cool. That's fun. Yep, that's certainly fucking real. Dude, that's so real. Good old dyslipidemia. Lolul. Oh. So at 3 IUs, we're not likely to get organ growth, acromegaly, cancer risk, or cardiac strain. Well, fuck yeah. Amazing. All right. I think we have all the information we need on GH. And I think our sweet spot, for those of you guys that are paying attention, it's probably in the 3 to 4 IU range, which we love to see. It's probably 3 from an off-season perspective. Honestly, you could probably even run 2 IUs and be okay. But I think 3 is the sweet spot. I'm kind of considering even dropping it to maybe 2 IUs. Actually, wait. Let's see if we can ask ChatGPT to simulate that. I mean, it's 50% more. Once again, everyone, thank you for stopping by. It's been really cool getting more viewers this time than we did last time. And the channel is consistently growing, which is great. Hopefully we'll be over 200. Yeah, if we could be over 200 subs by November, that would be cool. Holy crap. Okay. This is actually interesting. Yeah, you could increase collagen synthesis by 30% at fucking 8 IUs per day. Who's got that kind of money, man? Come on. Okay. So we'd probably get... So there's really very little upside between going from 2 to 3 IUs per day. That's actually super interesting. Okay. This is actually really interesting. Why is this Mega Man mix so banger? So kind of the result from this is if you could deal with the edema at 3, 3 is better. Interesting. Jesus, I have 15 pages I need to cut down. Good times. But yeah, this is really the more interesting part. 10% above baseline for tendons. Shit, that doesn't sound so good. Actually, we can figure this out. There might be something better here. Hello? Alright, ChatGPT, I'm on to you. 1 second. Let's break out the big guns. Are you tired, buddy? That's so real. This is actually super helpful. %30 to 35 to 50% above baseline. Holy Christmas. Man, we got 3 viewers in here, and nobody... Man, people don't realize... Oh my god. You guys don't even realize that, like, we're discovering fire right now. My lord. My lord. My lord. Ugh. We are out here discovering fire and no one's even paying attention. Alright. 30 to 50% faster collagen synthesis. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Okay. Oh, hold on a second. Give me the data for tendons only. This has been a ton of fun. You guys have no idea. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. Oh, shoot. Rerun this baseline of no exogenous GH. Up to 50% more collagen synthesis over 12 weeks? Are you kidding me? Sure. Show me over 12 or show me over a year. Over 52 weeks. Why not? Oh, it caps? Crazy. Okay. While we wait for that to be done, we can hop into the BPC 157 research. Now we're just getting crazy. I think this is going to be the tail end of the simulations because my ears are starting to hurt. I might just do the BPC 157 stuff offline. And if you're kind of wondering, like, man, why is he just popping stuff into ChatGPT and just doing that? Man, what's wild is it doesn't really project much of a difference between the testosterone or not. I actually think that's probably incorrect. For the record, guys, wild. So you could go from 120 to 180 in a year. JFC. So let's actually figure this out. So 3 months ago, it's 18 weeks, and yeah, we're at around... Man, am I behind my power curve on this? No, that should be... Okay, so I should be here. Yeah, I'm actually around there. Damn, ChatGPT is spookily understanding. Insane. Alright, I think that's where we're going to call it. My ear hurts. Everything sucks. Thank you guys for everyone that stopped by. I appreciate that. Thank you for everyone that commented. Thanks for hanging out while we figured this stuff out. I am going to condense most of this because this is actually fascinating. Let me... By the way, I am just frankly shocked at how correct ChatGPT was on this. Like, it predicted my finger strength curve at an alarming rate. Like, this is actually mental. Because, yeah, I started at... Holy crap, it actually predicted this perfectly. Jesus. Because I was at 150 after about 12 weeks, which, yep. Good lord. How do you do this, ChatGPT? Okay. Did I not? Alright, that's gonna do it. I'm tired. You guys are great. Thanks for coming and hanging out. I am going to get a cup of coffee, get working on this video. You guys are dope. Thanks for stopping by. I'll talk to you soon.